Hey YouTube, Joe here. Just wanted to do a video where I give you a couple of tips on what I believe is the best way to buy a vehicle. I've been in the business since 2000, which is going on 16 years now. In that time, I've seen just about every type of salesperson. I've also seen just about every type of customer. So I've seen the easy sale, the hard sale, the stroker, which is a guy that just comes in to waste your time. And then I've seen new buyers and people that haven't bought in 30 years, so they think it's still like it used to be. The industry now is completely different from the industry even back in 2000 when I started. The internet has completely changed the way automakers and car dealers do business. The reason is, you can go on your computer right now, go to autotrader.com, and you can look at a car in California while you're sitting here in Virginia. And if that car in Virginia is $4,000 more than the one in California, you can fly out to California, drive the car back, and still save yourself $1,000. So the manufacturer understands this, the dealers understand this. So prices have become very competitive across the board. There will always be outliers. The ZR1, the Viper, the Nissan GTR, cars like that, cars that command a premium over their MSRP, those will always be almost unregulated. But for the average consumer going into, say, your local Chevy dealer to buy an Impala, that's the example I want to use. Now, your average buyer is going to look on the internet before he goes into a dealership. First, they're going to find the one that's closest to them. Then they're going to find a car that they think they like. Then they're going to look at the price online. Here's first warning. You have to read the entire ad. If a vehicle has an MSRP of $39,550 and it has a VIP price, I don't know if you saw that, so I'll do it again. VIP price of $28,500. Scroll to the bottom where they usually have a slightly faded disclaimer at the bottom, and it will tell you exactly what you have to do to get that price. Now, by law, you can possibly get that price, but there are stipulations. For example, that price is the price of the vehicle minus all available rebates. So let's say there's a $2,000 cash rebate. That's taken off. If you're an active military member, there's usually $500 to $1,000. That's taken off in that price. If you're a college student, they usually offer another $500. So they take all of that off in the advertisement, because there is the possibility that if you are in college and active military, such as the reserves, which technically counts, you would get that extra money off of the price of the vehicle. Additionally, you'll see where it says price does not include freight, prep, or processing fee. So those fees will be added back to the price of the vehicle when you're done, when you're sitting in the finance office. Be prepared for that. It's just the way it is. Now, the doc fee, that's a complicated issue. Most people think that that's just, hey man, that's extra spending money for the dealership. A little bit of it is, not gonna lie to you. But the majority of the processing fee on every vehicle that is sold goes to the accounting department for handling your license plates and your transfer and anything else that could come up. Let's say you have a trade-in and we have to track down a new title for it or anything like that. We have to pay somebody to do that. Paying somebody to do that is not free. So that's where that money comes from. It also goes to help pay for the advertising and a few other things. But the main thing is it goes to the people that handle your paperwork. It doesn't go into the owner's pocket, not entirely. There's always a little bit. He's the owner of the company. He's always going to get something off of everything. Number two, the average profit on a new car sold in the United States, and you can look this up in J.D. Power and wherever you want, is about $1,290. That's not as much as you would think, because you have to pay your salespeople, then you have to pay your sales managers, then you have to pay for, whatever else needs to come out of that vehicle, including what's called the PAC, which is advertising and things again. So there's not as much money as people think. There's always a little bit more money in used cars, but when it comes to new cars, you're not going to get that phenomenal deal you used to because of the internet. because dealers can't just price a vehicle how they want to. And because as a society, we've all been trained, I guess is the right word, to not accept the price on the sticker. That completely blows my mind. I can't go into a candy store and ask to get a $1 candy bar for 45 cents because I know that he didn't pay that much for it. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But it's what we as a society have accepted, so be it. Number 3, that lower price that you pay up front is going to eliminate a lot of courtesy that you're going to receive after the sale. What I mean by that is, if you go in and you're just hardballing it and you're like, I want another $500 off, I don't care what it does to your dealership, I don't care what it does to your bottom line. Don't expect good customer service when you're not treating your salesperson like a person. I know that it goes lawyers, car salesmen, and the rest of the world. But for the large majority, salespeople are just people trying to make a living. We don't like to rip people off if that's how you feel that we're treating you. Our job is to greet you, help you find the car that fits your needs and wants and budget, and help walk you through the process. Now, if you want to be combative throughout that entire process, you're not going to get treated as well. If you come in and you understand, hey, this is going to take a few hours, and hey, this guy is here to show me cars, he's going to go walk a half a mile to bring a car up so I can take it for a test drive, and I should treat him like a person, then you'll get along fine. I lost track of which number it is. But next tip, your trade-in. I know you're reading all these articles that say, don't tell them about your trade till the very end. Negotiate your price and then tell them about the trade. Let me tell you, folks, that's going to screw you so hard you can't believe it. When you walk into the dealership and your salesperson is asking you if you have a trade-in, there's 2 reasons he's doing that. Number 1, when you come back in after looking at some vehicles, or even before you go out and looking at some vehicles, your salesperson can tell his manager, hey, look, this customer has a trade-in. The managers are prepared then to either take your keys and look at your trade while you're out looking at a new vehicle, or they know that they have to be prepared to adjust their price accordingly to accommodate your trade. So you can't sit beat up the salesperson, and obviously the salesperson's going to fight back. I'm not just defending salespeople, I'm defending everybody here. But you can't sit there and get the best possible deal that you think you can get and then ask for a lot of money for your trade. Because if you want to go that route, the dealer is going to turn immediately around and say, look, I gave you 60% off of the retail price of this vehicle. I can't give you 100% of the retail price of your vehicle. You're going to lose money by not disclosing a trade beforehand. That is a very, very important thing that I wanted to say. Now, I'm not saying that you need to just say, oh, I'll take whatever you can give me. No, but when you're talking to your salesperson, answer his questions. He's not going to be asking you stupid stuff. His job is to help you find the right car and to help you get your financing done and to help you get your paperwork done. So you need to tell him these things. And I'm sure I've seen a lot of situations where customers are getting frustrated because the salesperson has to keep getting up, going to the desk, going to the managers and saying, hey, look, now he's got a trade. Oh, well, how much does he have down? Well, the customer didn't tell me. We'll go back and find out. Oh, well, okay, so that up and down, that frustrates everybody. It frustrates you, the customer. It frustrates the managers because they feel their salespeople aren't doing their job. And it frustrates the salesperson because they're getting attacked by their managers for not doing their job with you, the customer, because you read a book. So, again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do your research. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to come into a dealership with the knowledge. And it's also not a bad thing to be prepared to walk away if it's an unreasonable deal. Don't expect a business that needs to make money to survive to just cave in. It's just not going to happen. Be professional. Be reasonable. Be polite. And expect the same thing from your salespeople. If you're walking in there and those salespeople are like, yeah, what do you want? Oh, I don't have time for that. Hang on a minute. and they're ignoring you, fine, treat them like crap. I don't care. They deserve that. But, you know, if they're showing you respect, you should show them some respect as well. That's a little ranty, a little bit soapboxy, but I feel it needs to be said. I think that there's a lot of potential to make deals a lot easier for folks. And again, nowhere in any of what I'm saying am I asking you to pay more for a vehicle. What I'm asking you for is to be reasonable. If we can all just get along, we can all be, I was going to say happy, but that's never going to happen. No, you can't please everybody all the time. But we can all be somewhat satisfied with our situation. Thank you very much. I will now get off my soapbox, and in order to show you how lighthearted and original I actually am, I'm going to stick my finger in my nose. See ya.